Welcome back to session 2 of JA It's My Business. Today's activity is called I Can Change the World, and it's really challenging the students to think about the importance of entrepreneurs considering the need to fill a need when they're making a product or a service. The students are going to first talk about a little bit about the ideas of how entrepreneurs are creative and how they often think about ways in which they can fill a need for a community. One thing we want to challenge the students to think about is how the entrepreneurs acquire the skills that they need to be successful. Talk about how some entrepreneurs are apprentices, or how some of them go to universities or colleges or tech schools. Others are self-taught, and the importance of making sure that they get a good education for whatever works best for them. You can then move into some discussions about what it means to have a market share, what market means, what market research is, and really lead the students into talking about how when we were creating this JA It's My Business curriculum, they really saw a need for a teen club hangout center. And so the market research has been done and the need is known. And so the students are going to brainstorm ideas on how to fill that need for their community. What you'll notice is that there is a definition of brainstorming, and there's some bullet points on how to get the students to think about what good brainstorming looks like. That no idea is a bad idea, that getting as many ideas on the table is the most important thing in the brainstorm idea. Then what you want to do is try to narrow that down and really think about what would be realistic and what would be innovative. So what the students are going to do is they are going to receive the various materials that are needed throughout this activity. So the students, each student group is going to receive a club blueprint. You will also notice that there is a large version of this club blueprint that you can hang up in the front of the room for the classroom board. When you start this activity, we first want the students just to start brainstorming, and the book encourages you to generate some ideas and have the students come up to the front of the board and write down some of the club features that they think might be good, and you can brainstorm some of those initial ideas as a whole class. Then the students can work in their small groups to solidify their actual ideas and then to actually draw out a blueprint of their teen club. You want to let them know that ultimately they are going to present these club blueprints to the rest of the class, and that their class is going to vote on their favorite club. Now, they're not going to be able to vote for their specific club, so they're going to have to vote for somebody else's in the room. So ultimately that vote will be for them. Have them start working, and again, this curriculum has been written for 60 minutes, so if you are in a class setting of 45 minutes or something similar, you will need to reduce the time that they have the opportunity to work in partners and in their groups. Because you want to make sure that you reserve enough time for each group to share their idea and then ultimately to allow the class to vote on their favorite club blueprint. One thing you'll notice in this curriculum is it does talk a little bit about ideas that are realistic. And with entrepreneurship, we really want to be careful because we do need to have things be realistic, but also the entrepreneurship thinking in general, the spirit of entrepreneurship is innovative and creative ideas. So we don't want to hinder their creativeness if something is too unrealistic, but we just need to find that balance. So just keep that in mind as the volunteer as you lead your discussion and your instructions for this activity. You can display the top voted in club blueprint and refer to it again in future activities if you have the opportunity to. One thing you'll notice about our curriculum guidebook is that there are a lot of prompting questions on the side margins that you should always take a good look at, because those are some great prompts to get the students discussing in your classroom. Once again, at the very end of the time that you have with the students, you have the option of doing the learning challenge, which is the 3-minute brainstorm. You would want to make sure that you provide the students some paper or ask them to use a sloppy copy piece of paper, scratch paper that they might have at their desk. This one is to spend 3 minutes listing the ways their teen club fulfills the business startup requirements expressed by these 4 entrepreneur characteristics. Again, taking a few minutes to do a summary and review is very important, And if you want to challenge the students, or if you've had the opportunity to challenge them in section 1 about the think tank, make sure you spend a few minutes talking about that and re-emphasizing that and encouraging them to once again take home those considerations by using their entrepreneurship journals. Enjoy session 2.